welcome. I'm fairly certain we are sitting here having a chat now. Thank you for coming. First of all, I'm gonna say hi to a few people, and then I'm gonna play something before I bring up our special guest today and find out what y'all named their channel. I want to say hello to Call Me V. V, thank you so much for coming. I came to what I think was going to be a live stream. I think it was yesterday, maybe the day before, and it was just a black screen. I don't know what happened. So thank you for coming, sweetheart. And we've got Box Van D in the house. Thank you. Thank you. Her and I had a long conversation on Saturday. I believe it helped me fill in some blanks inside of this, between the ears. Peggy and William, thank you for coming. Or Billy. He's my nephew. I call him William. I'm so sorry. Billy. Hi, Billy. Or I call him Billiam. And then we have Fairy Dust, Weep the Wild Winds. Thank you so much, Bernae, for coming to see us today. And Catherine Cook, thank you for being here. Well, thank you, Dee. I appreciate that very much. I do. Thank you. Because it ain't every day, okay? And that's all right. All right, so I'm going to play something, and then I'm going to explain why I'm playing it. Because we're saying goodbye to some people, and I'll explain why we're saying goodbye. Got to replay. So we're saying goodbye to these channels from partner memberships, from our channel memberships. I'm going to just say this. Over the next couple of weeks, I'll remind people, I believe the membership button is gone now. Dee helped me figure it out. Thank you, Dee. And so we're retooling the channel a bit. And I'm getting some good advice. I got some great advice from Dee. Got some great advice from Glow, Glorious Life on Wheels. And I'm just going to be doing some new things. I will have memberships again, probably after the first of the year. So in the meantime, feel free to use our super chats if you want, because there's people who do like to support us that way. And all support's great, whether it's prayers, watching a video. Actually, watching a video is most important. As anyone with a channel knows, you need people to watch your videos. So watch our videos, and that's one thing you're going to see more of. Now that I don't have my mind twisted up trying to figure out how to do this channel membership thing and the rest of what's required of a channel. So we have that. Our PayPal's available. So you know that you can always support us in that way if you want. All right, so I'll be saying goodbye a few more times over the next few weeks. Let me run back up here and see who else we have in the house. We also have Adventures with Raven and Rolly. Thank you for coming, Rolly, and bringing Raven along with you. Thank you, Raven, for coming. Going Green Mom, hello, Megan. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming. Artist on the Road, thank you for coming. Glad you are here. A little bit crazy, L and J. You're very welcome here. Thank you. Roy and Becky, and thank you for the raid. As always, great show. And I like how you're doing your segments. It's very professional. I think it's really cool. I do miss the little chubby people. You know, the little bouncy people. Kind of reminds me of me. But thank you. Thank you guys for bringing people over. Taz28, thank you for being here. Lucky Dog Productions moderator, Sue. Thank you, Naj Raqui. You are, I'm glad you're here. Dave and Diane throwing caution to the wind. I love your name. It's long, and I'll have to remember that because Dave and Diane, thank you for coming. I hope that you liked the show today. And there's a little more from Fairy Dust. Everybody's saying hello to everybody. All right. Don't want to miss anybody before I get started. Victoria May. So on Wednesdays at 4 o'clock of Pacific time, Victoria May, Life Unfiltered, has a karaoke. It is an a cappella karaoke unless you have original content, because you can't have the music. But it's a fun time. People hang out and chat up on a panel. So please feel free to do that. And I also want to mention one more time, go back up to, I don't think she needs mentioning, but Box Van D on Sundays, 5 o'clock, also has a show. Excellent show. Lots of cool people to meet there. So Sundays, 5 o'clock. RV Ashes in April. Thank you so much for coming. And then our destinations. Thank you very much for being here, dear. I hope you're feeling better. I think you have my email. If you ever need to just chat, I'll give you my phone number. All right. So I want to remind you, if you haven't had a chance to, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Appreciate it. And in the meantime, I'm going to switch banners here. We have guests that were on a few weeks ago, William and Peggy, and you guys are helping name their channel. And so I dropped the link. I'm going to drop the link here in the chat. Let me go back up here. And that's for William and Peggy to come on down. Let's see, what else was I going to do here? That's true. That's true, Dee, because you never know who might be in your chat. I see people, new people to me in every chat I go into, whether it's a smaller channel, under 1,000, or it's a channel like yours that has 15,000. By the way, she just celebrated 15,000, if you don't know. Quite a feat. So William and Peggy, just grab that link. Come on up. In the meantime, I want to let everybody know that Oregon is on fire officially. There is so many closures east of us, on the east side of the Cascades. It's a bad situation. Oh, and some between the Cascades and us. I always, in my head, kind of confuse another set of mountains we have, which are the kind of foothills to the Cascades, and there's like valley in between. There's Cascades, and then there is the Coburg Hills, and there's valleys in between those. And there's just a lot of fires, a lot of things going on in the state. A lot of things. They're having a hard time getting it under control. So I'm lucky to know these two people. It's my nephew and his fiance, William and Peggy, Billy and Peggy, and they are starting a YouTube channel. They've done a lot of traveling. They now have a travel trailer, but we're also going to talk about some of the problems with traveling. And believe me, I understand. Had a few of those in our one long trip we were able to take. We would be somewhere right now other than home, other than our sticks and bricks, if it weren't for the surgeries we've had to have. I think I said that right. I'm also watching the chat over here on the YouTube side. William and Peggy, let me know if you're having trouble with that. William and Peggy and I were talking last night about the difficulties when you're traveling and your vehicle breaks down and you don't necessarily have the money to go buy a brand new one or even like a really good used one. It can be a challenge. So give me a thumbs up when you're ready to join the chat. All right. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Like your hat.
Thank you.
Like your hat. So we've got Billy and Peggy here. And we're going to talk a little bit first about your channel name. So I'm going to pull it up here, what the options were. I'm going to go to my channel. And we'll see. Do you remember what the options were?
Hold on. Hold 1 second.
We got a verbal issue here. Hold on.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead and say something.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So do you remember what the names of your what the name options were for the channel?
Running up the nomads.
Running up the road mads.
Running up the road mads. And
Nomad hatters.
Nomad hatters and wrong turn nomads. I think.
Your options were no regrets.
No regrets. Yeah, without the G, right? Or
no
R.
regrets. No.
No, it says no regrets on here.
Yeah, no regrets.
No regrets. Nomad hatters and running up the road mats.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think? So how did we come up with those names? Did you know? You want to tell everybody how that was decided to start with? So you had three names that you knew you could live with, either or it.
Well,
what was the consensus with you guys?
Well, for me, I came up with running up the road mads because well, your show is burning up the roads, and so it's kind of, and you're the one that really inspired us to do this RV stuff. So it was kind of a play on yours, but also there's times where we're on the road and it just is not going right, and you're running up the road mad. You know, just mad as hell, trying to figure something out. Going. Right now, I'm trying to rebuild the engine on my truck.
New truck.
On my new truck, and I don't know what I'm doing, but I've gotten as far as replacing the head gaskets and putting it back together, and it's still overheating. So I have a couple uncles that I rely on, and they both said to take it back apart, so I'm taking it back apart today. And but it's got us grounded. I feel like I'm in timeout, you know. Now it's not bad because we're with our grandkids right now, so it's okay that we're in timeout. But if we were somewhere else, it would probably be a different situation.
So having that, you know, obviously having some family where you can do some work on your vehicle. Can you? So before we go into the problems with, or the potential problems with being a nomad, let's finish up with the name. So, do you have a preference, Peggy? What would be your preference?
I don't know. I kind of like the no. I like the no regrets, but I liked also the Nomad hatters.
Yeah.
Kind of like the before and after.
Yes.
You know? So I like to play on words as well. Just
okay.
But the no regrets seems to fit really well.
Yeah. Yes, I think it does too. That's why I came up with no regrets, I believe.
Yes,
was it me? Okay. Yep. So what do you think that the people that did get to vote on it voted? How do you think they voted? What do you think they voted for? Which one?
I think they voted for running up the road mads.
Okay. Well, let's see. We're going to share the screen here for a moment with a little information, and we'll see what it does say. All right. So we've got 14 votes. We've got 14 votes, and we've got no regrets with 21%.
I can't see.
It says no Mad Hatters 43%, no regrets 21, and running up the road mads 36. So we're running up the road mads.
It shows Nomad Hatters with 43%.
However, I thought we were going with what was in the middle.
No. You don't know how a poll works,
I
clearly.
know. Billiam.
Well, that's a surprise.
Yeah, winner, chicken dinner, I guess, huh, Peggy?
So reality is nobody's going to be mad at you if you choose one of the other names. But the butter crew chose Nomad Hatters.
Well,
Mhm.
we're people of our word.
Yes.
So that'll be the name of the channel.
Yes.
All right.
Like
so
I
Yeah.
like I had said before,
Why'd you take your hat off?
well, because so unfortunately, where we're at, it's pretty hot, and I didn't realize that my son didn't have AC.
He does. Do you want me to turn it on?
Yeah, well, yeah. Jesus.
Well, we have a
Christ.
question. Margie from RV Ashes in April wants to know: are they full or part time? Meaning, do you have a house to go back to, or is this your at this point?
Oh, well, at this point, we're full time. We do this year round. We've been doing so. If they didn't catch our last interview, we started out doing that. We were traveling and we were staying in hotels, and there was 4 of us adults, 2 dogs, and a cat, and then we had, you know, along the way we talked about getting an RV, a travel trailer, something that we could pull, and fortunately, the last time we were visiting the grandkids, I found this travel trailer. Did you find it?
No, you did.
I found this travel trailer, and I thought it was unbelievable because it was only $500.
Uh-huh.
And so I figured, I bought one a few years ago, and I parked it in my grandpa's backyard.
I parked it in Grandpa's
She parked
backyard.
it, and we stayed in it while we were in between houses, and then we moved, but life took a different turn for us, and we went on the road.
RV.
Yeah, it wasn't a travel trailer that you would drive down the road with, because it was not built for that.
Probably lose part of it on the road.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we paid $800 for it, right? So really, I thought, okay, here we are again. I'm paying $500 for this travel trailer, and we're gonna see what happens. And I've drug that thing to the middle of the country and back, and it's done pretty well. Although I did blow up my truck, and now I'm working on another one. So it's a heavy girl, but she's pretty, and everything.
We get compliments all the time.
So the only thing that has this pondering some things about this full-time stuff is, yes, we are full-time. We live in our travel trailer year-round. I mean, even when we're near family, we still stay in our travel trailer. But we haven't quite figured out our tanks yet. I don't believe that there's any tanks in it.
I believe that I know the answer.
She believes that she knows the answer to everything. But I mean, you can.
I did a lot of research.
You can go to the bathroom twice and maybe wash a bowl out with some water. and it backs up in the tub.
That's been dramatic there.
And she says that no, that's not the case.
It's not the same system though, because we can leave
it's the case.
the black tank closed and it doesn't create the problem. It's when we only leave the gray tank closed. But you still need to use the little snaky thing down in there.
No. So I don't know if you guys know this, but I tried to clean the tank out with this thing that they call the RV wand, and I ended up covered from head to toe, helping a police officer change a woman's tire, smelling like human feces. That was not ours. It was probably the people's that lived in it before we got it. Which, hey, that happens. I mean, you buy a used RV, you got to deal with somebody else's stuff.
Yes.
So, not the most memorable, and it's definitely not the thing that keeps me on the road. It's
Peggy.
one of the things that keeps me thinking about going home. But, yeah.
Well, I have a question for Peggy.
Mm-hmm.
Peggy, did you get it on camera? That's the only thing that really matters.
Well, but that was like in the beginning, and he was very grumpy.
Oh, I can imagine.
I didn't get a shower for an hour and a half.
Yeah, we had to drive to the hotel, which I didn't realize was going to be so far away.
Yeah.
He really appreciated that shower when we got there.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So, Barry says here, the troubles with black tanks would switch to a great composting toilet. Do you know what a composting toilet is? Have you seen them? Any videos on them?
No, but we met a couple in Moab, Utah. We met a couple in Moab, Utah that they had one of these little R-Pod things, right? And it's like a little, I'm sure everybody knows what an R-Pod travel trailer is.
Yeah.
And they don't have bathrooms. They have like a little stove, but they don't have like, basically they're just a bed. And
they have a really cool setup.
Right. But these people had a really cool setup. Now, because of their composting toilet and not having an actual toilet in their RV,
self-contained,
some RV parks they're not allowed to go into.
Really?
Yeah.
Or like a certain group that's not necessarily an RV park, it's alone, but a group that goes to RV parks, they can't be in some of those groups.
Yeah.
Because they're not fully self-contained, meaning
they're not fully self-contained.
Yeah.
Oh, I never heard that.
We were like, wow, really?
That was the couple that wants to get the sunflowers painted on their RV. And
well, so the issue with that is, so you will eventually decide, do you mainly want to stay in parks of some sort where you have, let's say if it was a perfect world and you had your tanks all figured out and you knew you had tanks. I still have a hard time imagining you don't. And I'm going to ask you what you think about that, Peggy. But in a perfect world, you had, let's say you had solar and you had, all of the backup, generator stuff. Would you want to stay in parks with lots of people around, or would you choose to boondock where you can have some more privacy? Because
I would use definitely to boondock more off more adventurous places.
Yeah, I mean, so with the length of our trailer and we don't have a brand new truck, so it's not like, I mean, we can't pull it to Mount Everest. But
no, but there's a lot of free
in the
campsites.
woods. We could go up in the woods with it. I mean, I could
a lot of BLM land.
A lot of BLM land.
Right. So let me ask Peggy, Billiam. Peggy, what do you think is the issue? What, without him speaking a word, Tell us what you think the problem is, because actually Peggy is a pretty smart girl.
Well, I was just watching on this RV repair thing that I like subscribe to, and it was happened to be black tanks was the issue. So they were saying that you have to leave the black tank closed when you're parked, even if you're hooked up to sewage, because then it'll just be the fluids that go through, and the solids create the pyramid, the poop pyramid. Right. Yes, and then you need that liquid in there to with the the little thing, the little capsule granule things or whatever that break it up and turn it into liquid. So when we're hooked up, we're not doing it, and making sure you have lots of water in there first to begin with.
Right.
And then if you need to like I think our gray water tank needs to be really cleaned out because people lived in it, and I think the grease did get dumped down the sink. Okay. So there's probably a lot of grease conglomerate. I don't know if using like a Drano or something probably isn't a good idea to leave it in there, but I wonder if it would be a good idea, because the system is different than a house system. Would it be safe?
Right.
To the Drano in there like one time, and then I don't know if it's the same using the snake going down into the gray tank as it is going into the black tank. Mm-hmm. Because it always says like the snake is for the black tank, but I think where our major problem is the gray tank, because it does not back up from the toilet part.
Okay.
It only backs up when you put it in the bathroom sink or the kitchen sink.
Nope.
Yes.
No. Here's how I know that she's wrong.
Okay.
The other night I was taking a shower, and I just threw an orange packet in the toilet. Right? She said, when we're parked, we don't pull those out until we're ready for it to go
flush it through.
Sure.
Right? Let it build up in the tank first.
Right.
I wasn't in the shower 5 minutes, and there was a puddle of orange colored liquid in the tub.
But I had put one in there in the tub. I had broken open and dumped the things down in the hole.
Well,
so
I don't know. I'm having
because a hard time. I just went open, and then I went open.
There's tanks in there.
I went and opened the gray tank while he was in the shower, because he was like, "It's coming up on me." So I opened the gray tank, but not the other one. We didn't open the other one until the next day to let it through.
Why?
So have you ever taken like a flashlight, let's say a flashlight, and put some light on the subject?
I have not.
I mean, it's not the most pleasant. Trust me, I've got someone who deals with my toilet.
I've looked down the toilet, yeah.
And do you see an accumulation of things?
No. All I see is black emptiness. This is CJ.
Hi, CJ.
Say hi.
How are you? Oh, you're adorable looking. You are very cute. So, and one of the reasons you're struggling figuring out this whole thing is because you've got a plate underneath. For lack of a better word, it's attached in some manner, and you can't just look and see tanks, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, you have to take the plate off. You have to pull the insulation out, and I just figured that so I know that my plungers that when you pull them to open the tank, I know that those are broke, and I have new ones that I'm going to replace them with.
Okay.
But because no matter what, if we're driving down the road and she has to go to the bathroom, or I have to go to the bathroom, and we pull over and we go back there and we go to the bathroom, and when we get to the RV park and I
It's always
go
a
to
little liquid.
open the tank,
Uh-huh.
it comes out.
But but I think that there's a conglomeration there that's holding it from closing all the way, you know, or maybe there's leaky spots where it gets
Uh-huh.
through. Because when we do open it, it is a gushing, like you can hear that there's a letdown, you know, that
Right.
it came through. But there's always something there no matter what. So there's some sort of, it's not like maybe it's broken and it's not closed all the way, you know, something is preventing it from being closed all the way. So we do know they are broken at some point.
At some point,
Yeah.
they're broken.
They're not right.
And I scraped the so like I don't know if it was just how they did it in 1979 or what, but my pipe is very close to the ground. Very close to the ground. So when I pull out of a gas station or something, those tanks, they got to be empty because I've been known
to pop a cap.
To pop a cap on a town before. And now, in my defense, I went into the store and asked them for a hose so I could clean it up.
Yes.
And they said,
no.
I said, okay, well, I guess you guys can clean it up then. You know, like I walked back to the truck and I said, I guess that's what you call shitting on the town.
Well, in a very true way, that's what happened. So right now you've struggled with some vehicle problems. You recently switched to a different truck that you have to rebuild the engine on, and you've already rebuilt it once, basically, and you have to take it apart again.
Okay, so what I should say is I didn't have to rebuild it. I was just trying to replace the head gaskets because I had a coolant leak. And so
there always seems to be more going on.
So now, if I wouldn't have replaced the head gasket, the truck would probably still be running. I mean, it runs.
Yeah.
It runs. It just won't go from... It goes straight to 260 overheating, like that. Well, so there's a flowage problem.
Yeah. Fairy Dust Bernie is asking, yes, someone with disabilities. I think tanks may be difficult to take care of, or it's not an issue. I'm asking. So you guys don't have disabilities. Excuse me. You guys don't have disabilities. I have disabilities. And the only problem for myself, Bernie, is that I am going to be emptying our black tank here soon because we need to really get it off the road and parked on the side of the house. And we want to empty it first. And we're going to do the whole winterization, and we will put it on video. I don't think there's that there. So we cleaned it out originally. We did the whole bleach thing, followed directions and did it. And that was no big deal. You know, that's with the gray tank. Yeah. And I think with both tanks. But anyways, Richard did all of that to start with. I think the black water tank, it could be a problem in that, if it's backed up. So one time we went to dump and the hose wouldn't come out for Richard to attach, so it could be emptied. And luckily there was a lady in a nice big Class A sitting beside us doing her stuff, and she had a tool, a big long, like something you would use in a swimming pool to grab, like a grappling hook, something like that. And she was gave it to Richard, and he was able to pull it out with that. Okay, so some of just the logistics sometimes, but again, you're going to have to do something with a a composting toilet, and I know Dee has a composting toilet, and so she is grateful she doesn't have a black tank. And Dee, as she said, is older and she's strong. She does all of her work, and yet it wears on you. I'm assuming. And she's saying right here, I'm glad I don't have a black tank. Let's see. Here's maybe an answer. If the tanks are okay, then there's no problem taking care of them. Put black tank deodorant cleaner down the bowl after emptying as a preventive. Yes, that's what we did too. And it wasn't a big deal at all. That's not a big deal. You're going to have to get rid of your compost, just like you're going to have to get rid of the black tank stuff. There may not always be a place to dump a black tank. That's just, so if a person is going to boondock primarily, like way out of way, it might be more difficult because unless you have a big composting area, but then you're going to have to be able to remove that and deal with that. That would be a good question for someone who does that. What do you actually do with that? I know I've seen it on videos, but yeah. All right. So then you've got your truck issues, trying to get a vehicle together enough so that it's stable and you can pull your trailer without worrying that you're going to be broke down on the side of the road.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how many people out there have actually done their own head gaskets, especially if they don't have any mechanical
self-taught
background. Everything that I've done so far has been self-taught. Watched a video on YouTube or something.
Phone a friend.
Phoned a friend.
Phone a friend.
Yeah. And really, it's been kind of a guessing game. And fortunately, I've been right the majority of the time. I definitely got this wrong because I can't figure it out. And I took my thermostat out, which everybody says you take your thermostat out, your truck will run cool. Well, it's not running cool. And so...
But apparently, there's
take it all apart again.
An order to putting things back together.
Yes,
and that's what we didn't know.
My uncle said there's a order, and so I actually a little bit crazy. I actually changed my water pump, completely brand new water pump. And when I took my thermostat out, the thermostat area was full of coolant, so it's circulating.
Mm-hmm.
But there could definitely be a blockage or something in the,
We bought a radiator from a pick and pull place,
and that had a hole in it.
And it had a hole in it, and spewed out coolant into the fan, which blew all over me.
Yeah.
Have they replaced it?
No,
we haven't even told them.
So I just had to do some.
I think it's as is.
Do some jerry rigging, and I got my old one back in with my transmission cooler line hooked up
from the lone transmission.
Now, there is apparently a radiator fan. Thank you, a little bit crazy. I didn't even know that.
So all my fuses are accurate. None of them are blown, and if my fan wasn't working, I'm pretty sure that I'd have a fuse out. And I don't have any fuses.
Oh, and it's working because it spewed that coolant, blew it right at me.
Yeah, and I actually do have. I guess I downplay myself sometimes. I do have a bit of a background with working on stuff. I've been a forklift driver the majority of my life. I've worked on my forklift I watched my uncle growing up work on his Chevy. Um, I painted roads striped, and we've had hoses go out and cover us in paint on the side of I-5. My buddy Josh, me, and when you're in those situations and you're working, you have to get the job done. So
Yes.
I've definitely got some skills. I'm not. I'm not a professional by any means. I know how to turn a wrench. I have a pretty good memory, putting stuff back together.
Mhm.
I just think that my Uncle Kelly is right, and I just didn't know that there's an order you have to put the bolts back in, and there's a poundage that has to be the spec.
I
So
do need
it's
to stop
21
you.
feet per
I need to
square.
stop you. Uncle Richard is going to probably be out there crying if he hears this, because he mentioned that to you last night too.
Well, yes, no, Uncle Kelly and Uncle Richard. I said at the beginning of this
I'm
conversation,
teasing. I'm
I
just
have
teasing.
two uncles that I rely on. So don't be crying, Sammy. All right.
So is the fan
But-
working? A little bit crazy wants to know, is the fan working?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good. And Roy said there's a clutch fan.
Yeah, that's the fan. It works.
Yeah.
Okay.
It
No,
works well.
it works well. Like I said, I just put in a brand new water pump. The fan connects to the water pump, and it's spinning good. It's just what I think. What I think the problem is that there's a clog in the radiator,
Okay.
and it will still allow stuff to go through, but it's not circulating it fast enough to keep it cool, and that's why it's shooting straight to 260. Would be a guess.
And then whatever that sequence thing has to do
Well,
with
that
putting it
sequence
back
has to
together.
do with flattening your cam.
I
If
have
you
no
don't put it
idea.
back the way it's supposed to be in sequence, you can
Then there's
flatten
going to
your
be a seal.
you can flatten your cam. But I'm still leaking coolant. And I'm thinking about just buying another truck.
Is that your drink?
Shooting this one in the hood ornament and calling
Doing
it
a kill
day.
shot. Yeah. Well,
This is Tyrion
Tyrion, the grandson. One of them.
Hi.
right here. This is our
Hi.
grandson, Tyrion. Say hi.
hi, sweetheart.
Say later.
Yes.
See, you guys are crazy.
So, boondocking with Boomer Lance is somebody you want to connect with. Everybody on here are people you want to connect with. They're great channels. Lance says burning up the highways would be a cool name. Do you want to tell Lance that the name was chosen by the channel attendees?
By the people.
Yeah, it was chosen by the
Channel attendees.
by the conglomerate.
Conglomerate.
And it's, what is it? Nomad Hatters?
The Nomad
Hatters.
Nomad
And,
Hatters.
I had said, now I just want this to be fair, okay? So I had said that if it was my choice, it would have been running up the road mats, and I would have been very responsible about the channel. Now, somebody else's choice was picked, so they need to be responsible for the videoing of the channel. I think that's fair.
Okay, that's fine.
So
it don't matter if you're grumpy or not.
well, you do that anyways. So, and I'll try to watch my mouth. I will. Maybe we'll get one of those little like zipper things, like a tag, like a zipper tag that you can put across. When I cuss.
Yeah.
When I get,
It's
when
really
I get
helped
going,
me.
stop.
It's helped me, William. It very much helped me with my mouth.
So, you're going out when?
Well, we're looking at March because we both have more surgeries. Richard has an additional surgery, and probably not for 6 months, 5 to 6 months.
So,
and then he's got to, that's on his neck. And that's going to be a big surgery. And then I have one as soon as the restrictions are lifted and we can have optional surgeries. I'm going to have my second one. Uh-oh. And so, but my point is I believe we'll be ready to go in March, but my plan is to be gone much longer. So March to whenever we decide to come back. Probably I will come home for 4th of July. I'll try to always be home for my father to celebrate your grandfather, my dad's birthday on July 4th with my little sister and my big sisters if they want to come too. But we'll always, to the best of our ability, that will be a holiday that will be extremely important for me to hold consistent with what my dad always wanted, or we did for my dad, because he has given so much. He gave everything to his family. And so for me, it's like the least I can do is really honor his birthday. And since it is Priscilla, I have to be here for Priscilla. So anyways, that's a long answer. So did you have a question, sweetheart?
Oh, I was just going to say, I have a goal, and it's to ride a bronc. I want to ride a bronc. Peggy said I can't ride a bull.
Because then
you have back problems.
What? No,
you
I'm
have
serious.
Back problems. You have back back and mental health problems now.
I'm tough.
Yes.
But no, I'm serious. I want to ride a bronc.
I'll definitely be videoing the aftermath.
Well, that 4th of July, we have the rodeo here in Eugene.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to do it.
He said he wanted to do it on one.
I don't want to do it where people can see me.
Oh.
Because I don't want to do it like a PBR.
He wants to do it on the old broken down bull in the back 40.
Yeah, just something that I can just get on. It's going to buck a couple times. I'm going to say, okay, and we can go about our day.
When I was a little girl, when we lived on Kelso, you probably weren't even alive. No, you weren't alive when we lived on Kelso. So
no.
We lived on Kelso, and at the end it was a dead end street, gravel road, and at the end of the street was my best friend Jeff. And he had a little brother named Joy, and Priscilla went to school with Joy. And they lived on a small farm there, and they had a bull. And Jeff would go get on. I mean, I'm telling you, I was probably 7, and Jeff was probably about 9, 8, 9, 10. He was a little older than me, and he would go get on the bull, and we thought that was the biggest thing on the face of the earth. I mean, Jeff got on that bull. Then we found out the bull was old and broken down, and that's why he didn't move. He just stood in his little stall, very content and happy to live out the rest of his life. So Lance is wanting to know how you spell that, Nomad Hatter, Nomad Hatters. I'm going to pull that name up again and pull it up one more time so he can see it. And we will look at the spelling. All right. Oh, there we go. It's just Nomad Hatters.
Yep.
Nomad Hatters won by quite a bit.
Alice in Wonderland.
I know. 43%? I mean, I don't get it.
It does feel like we've gone down a rabbit hole sometimes.
Huh? Yeah, it does, though. Jesus.
I know.
We were, okay, I got to tell you guys this because I think it's awesome. It's the best part of it's one of the best parts of our story, okay?
Uh-huh.
We're in this little town in New Mexico. Was it New Mexico?
I I don't know
No, it
which
was
one you're
Las
talking
Vegas. It
about.
was Reno. We were in this. Shh, don't tell anybody we was in Vegas. But we're there and we're driving. Where there's this town. It's called Goldfield.
Goldfield.
There's this town called Goldfield, and it's like 60 miles before that is this other little town. I can't think of the name, but
Beatty.
Beatty, Nevada. And I'm driving. I'm pulling this big ass trailer, and I look up, and there's 3 burros walking down. Now I don't know if everybody knows what a burro is, but it's a donkey. Okay, it's a big jack donkey, and these sons of guns are walking down the road,
Just strolling.
on the sidewalk, like they're people just walking down the sidewalk, and it was the best thing I ever seen because
So cool.
he picked up a donkey turd and threw it at me, by the way. So that's how you know she's a country girl. But I pulled over and I jumped out and I like walked over and there's these people and they have built this shed in the middle of this town where they keep hay and they keep big water barrels and they feed these wild donkeys. So these wild donkeys,
They just come into town and get a drink.
they come into town, they get something to eat, they get something to drink, then they go back out and they run the hillsides. But Beatty is a very cool town, and it's got probably, I'd say, at least 150 wild donkeys that run around the hills and stuff.
They're so pretty too.
And they are very pretty.
They're so pretty.
I was gonna try and jump on one. Well, it's in my blood. So my brother was a bull rider, and my dad was a bronc rider, and bull rider, bronc and bull rider. He was full of a lot of bullshit, but he was definitely a bronc and bull rider. So I think I would do really good. I mean,
Well, just be prepared for more doctor visits. You already have a bad back, but you know what? People have to do what they have to do. Let me explain. I want to explain something here to Lance and maybe anybody else who has the question. They're just starting their channel. It just got named today, and so when it comes out, I will definitely let you know and give you the link to their channel. And so that's how I think they're going to handle that. But it should be, I think it should be very soon. And I see a beautiful Emmy.
Yes, granddaughter.
Amy, did you have pancakes this morning? Was they the best pancakes you ever had? That's what I thought.
Ah.
Pretty good cook.
Grandpa made his pancakes.
I made grape jelly filled pancakes, nothing special. Just something that, I figured their mom was tired and didn't really feel like doing it. So I thought I'd help.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
I had oatmeal with brown sugar and bananas. Oh, and I always put on top of the brown sugar, I take some sea salt and I do a little twist of sea salt with just that tiny taste of salt on top of that brown sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We ate at this restaurant in where was that? We got the grits. Was that me and my sister?
I don't remember.
It might have been me and my sister. I think it was in Dallas, but it was a Waffle House. But we got grits there. They all had waffles. I got grits. And they put salt and pepper in the grits. That's how I ate them,
with scrambled eggs. Mm-hmm. Yummy.
That's like how it comes. I mean, if you want it a different way, you got to special order it. But it comes with salt and pepper.
And butter.
Oh, yes.
That's the way I like it.
It's very good.
That's a given. That's a given. A little pat of butter. Lance is making a great point, you guys. So you should, before that name gets snatched up, you should get that registered with your channel like today, because that is a cool name. I wouldn't have chose it for my channel, but it is a cool name.
Yeah, I think
Um,
it's fitting. They all fit in their own way, so it worked out no matter
yes,
what.
yes, yes, absolutely. So have you ran into in? So you've only been in the trailer actually relatively a short time, about a month,
Oh yeah.
5 weeks.
Well, when did we go back to?
Um, you left about within a week of the
Over my
4th.
movie.
Huh?
You left within about a week of the 4th of July, like right after
No,
the 4th.
no. We came back
Good
and
Lord,
left again.
that's right.
Yeah, because we've been we've been back. So we came back to fourth, and we left again, and then we came back
And
and
left.
bought the trailer, and it's August something now.
This
It's almost September. A couple days
Yeah.
from September. It's the 30th of August.
Ooh, we gotta go get our second shot today.
Oh, good, good.
My father, well, my soon-to-be father-in-law, he's not my father-in-law yet, sent us an email saying that um, the waiting period for the second shot of the Moderna is max 42 days.
Like it starts
Like,
losing
it loses its effectiveness.
effect.
Mhm.
So we actually have to go get our shots today. Very important.
Yeah, go
But
get those done.
what was your question?
Oh, just somebody had a question about just getting your channel registered as a channel, and then just was asking about. So you've had it about a month. Let's just say a month. Didn't you go to Texas with it?
Yep.
Okay, so you've had it about a month, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that. And did you have so you've had trouble with the tanks or lack thereof, possibly, and you did some wiring stuff. You had to fix some lights, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to, well, so I had to rewire the. Okay, so I thought that I had to put a new inverter in, but I didn't actually end up putting the new. Well, I did end up putting the new inverter in, but I took it back out and I put the old one back in. But I put it back in right, so everything works. The air conditioner, the fridge. We were at a point where we either had the fridge working and no air conditioner, or the air conditioner and no fridge. Either one wasn't really an acceptable option in the South. Uh, it it's hot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm so tired. I've been.
Oh, yeah. You've been very busy.
You need to move the
So we're going to be closing off here in just a second, and I wanted to say, just wanted to tell you guys, thank you for letting my members, my channel members, and YouTube, our subscribers choose your name,
Yeah.
and I can't wait to see what you guys do with the channel.
So Peggy is going to come up with the design for the name, and we're actually going to put it on the side of our trailer. How cool is that?
That's going to be very cool.
For everybody who voted for it, when you see it down the road, you'll see it on the side of the trailer. You'll be like, I'd name that channel.
That's right.
And so you'll see it. We'll be in Quartzsite in March, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be there in March. And
Well, I think you want to be there sooner than March.
yes, I want to be there in January. We are. Can I say that?
Yes. Right.
Why didn't know? I don't know the YouTube politics. So
better get to learning.
Yes.
We're unveiling our chili in my chili.
Uh-huh.
Yes. That's how you know I'm a true Texan. By the way, they make really good chili.
Yeah.
So we're gonna unveil it in Quartzsite. And I hope that everybody who voted can have a free bowl.
Okay.
But if you didn't vote, it's $10 a bowl. No, I'm joking.
We're going to discuss that.
We're not going to charge $10 a bowl. That'd be ridiculous. Although it is very good.
You ain't that big yet.
Yeah, I'm not Chef Boyardee.
Lance said, "Oh, this is important. I guess you should have, and I should have told you." Lance said, "Nomad Hatter is already taken.
Oh,
That name is already taken, and you do not want."
Dang it!
I thought I checked those.
I guess we're gonna have to go with running up the road, Mads.
What if it's written
no,
a different way?
What year's your trailer?
79.
It's 79.
79. How many feet? 32?
It's 33.
33. It's in very good shape, Lance. Thank you for catching that. She did.
Yeah.
They looked those names up before they. Those were 3 names that they posted as talked about as possibilities. At the time, they were not taken.
Somebody snatched one of them up.
Snatched it up.
Hatters isn't. Roy says Hatters isn't. Becky and Roy say Nomad Hatters is not taken.
Nomad Hatters
Yeah,
isn't
I think
taken?
because the way we spell it can be a little different.
Oh, okay. So it has to. Okay.
I'm gonna get it on there today.
Well, she'll get it on there today.
Hatters.
Yeah. That will. Let me explain something. That name, I believe, would confuse people. So, like, there was a guy who I met on my YouTube channel, and his channel name was Art in Oregon. Art in Oregon, I believe, is how it went. And it was confusing because people thought he was an artist, because commonly, like, there's an artist on the road that I know. And so my assumption is she does art of some sort on the road. So Hatters, I would say, is that your last, if I didn't know you, I'd say, is that your last name? Do you make hats?
I have to go.
Yes, I know you do. All right. Well, you guys, I'm going to drop you down in just a second. I just want to thank you, and we'll talk a little bit later on, okay? I love you guys.
All right,
Love you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Oh, you are.
Remove from stream. All right. So thank you guys for stopping by today. And the name will get figured out. I still think it should be the one I chose. No regrets. No regrets. And but we'll see what happens now that we know. We'll look a little further. Let's see. For the few people that came in late, I'm going to play this again. We're quitting. We're quitting having channel memberships, because I'll tell you more about that in just a second, but I would like to wrong one. All right. I just want to thank the people that were our members. It was very, it mattered a lot. It felt really nice that there were people who just wanted to support us, and it was great. It was a great experience, and we will do it again, but I'm retooling the channel right now, and I need to remove this from this, and we're just doing some retooling. I got some things that I'm working on, and working with a couple of people trying to figure out some things. You know, Roy said something today on his channel, Roy, on Roy and Becky Travels. He said, basically, I'm going to summarize Roy's statement, or his sentiment. His sentiment basically is, do not compare yourself to other channels. Do what makes you happy. And those of us who may do those kind of things, like compare and contrast, can really drive ourselves crazy trying to figure out the whys this isn't happening or why that is not happening. So there's some basics that I've kind of overlooked that I'm going to go back and fix, and hopefully that helps in the long run. That's right. So I now know a little bit about that. I didn't know when we came into the community of streaming and of YouTubing. I had no idea. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. And I appreciate that you came by. I'm going to do a video this week about all the closures and about what's on fire here. There's actually a lot of public lands that are closed, access closed to them, because they cannot get these big giant wildfires under control. So thank you guys for coming. I appreciate your time. And I hope you had a fun time with us today and learned something about this new channel that will be one name or another. If I'm looking up Nomad Life, I would type the word Nomad in, not No Regrets. Nomad Hatters would probably come up before No Regrets. If you're looking at how to spell it, yes, it would. So that's a thing to talk about with them. I'll chat with them about that later on today. But in the meantime, you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, stay happy, and know that we love and we appreciate each of you.